I only own one item that you could class into the same sort of area as like your Chinese cheap knockoff copies of Crye precision gear. A lot of people want the Crye look, they want to pay Crye prices, and I get that. So you got a lot of brands out there. You got your Emerson and TMC and Flash Force and all these Chinese copies of Crye Woodlands that guys on Instagram wouldn't, manage to get by without. Now this stuff's all right for like cosplay dressing up. If that's your hobby thing, that's absolutely fine. You crack on, enjoy it. You can wear it for airsoft. I tend to think kit for airsoft and milsim, whatever, should be made to a good durable standard, because you're going to be running around, scraping up against walls, diving through foliage through the woods, and cheaply made stuff just won't hold up, and then you've wasted your money, and then it's a false economy if you buy cheap stuff. What we got here is a copy of a Crye G3 combat shirt by a company called Rasputin Item, which as far as I can gather is basically Emerson or TMC or one of those, and it's just slightly rebranded, and they use real 50/50 Nyko for the sleeves, and they do like copies of the G3 combat pant as well. So I'm going to take a look over it. I'm just going to be impartial and just give you my thoughts essentially before it, because I'm going to sell this one on. I picked it up initially because I wanted a full set of the different pencock patterns, and I couldn't find a combat shirt in the Sandstorm here. The only one I could find online, apart from these ones, was Sod, which is an Italian brand, and it was like 250 euros, and the design looked shit, so I wasn't going to go for that. I've worn it a little bit. I'll give it a try out. I've got the G3 combat shirt here, the Crye original in Multicam Arid, just for comparison's sake, essentially. So we'll run over the materials. Design is the same, as you can imagine, although if you look down in this area, there's a slight difference, and there's about 5-6 inch shorter in the torso there with the Rasputin. It doesn't like staying tucked in when you're running around, so that's where they've saved a bit of money there. The zip apparently is a YKK on the replica. Whether that's just the Chinese have copied it, I don't know. The coil zip looks extremely similar to the Crye, but just from my eye, I can't tell the difference. But it's hard to tell with these things realistically, but the zip seems fine. The sleeves, as I mentioned, the yoke, the collar area, this is the proper Pencock brand, 50/50 Nyko, great fabric. So that's a good thing. It's got that going for it. The Velcro loop, as far as I can tell, seems to be a genuine Velcro brand product. And obviously Crye will use the genuine stuff. This seems real. Seems like good stuff. End of the day, I can only go by look and feel and taking patches on and off. There's no real great way. If something looks similar, when it comes down to it, you can't really tell it apart too easily. As I mentioned, the overall cut and design and all the details are the same as the Crye. They've got the little pen pocket here. You've got your slots in the top of the arm pockets, putting sunglasses in and other eye pro. Nothing much to show on the back. You've got your elbow pad pockets. They're cut and stitched in the same way as the Crye is, obviously, because they just copied Crye's pattern. Stitching is generally where these Chinese clones of higher end gear will tend to fall down. Usually the materials are okay for like sporting, hobby, whatever type usage. The sleeves are good. The torso material, this is, I genuinely can't identify whatever this is. It's a really thick, like overly thick fabric. Like it gets far too hot for a combat shirt. You want a combat shirt relatively thin. I mean, it'll probably be fairly durable, but it's excessive. It doesn't transport sweat terribly well either, which again is not what you want. Weird thing is, a lot of the stitching on this is actually pretty good. It's not too bad. The stitch per inch count is basically the same as the Crye, which I was surprised at when I checked. You've got most of the same bar tacks and reinforcements in place. If we look at the slot for your eye pro on the sleeve here, you've got 2 bar tacks on the copy, and then on the Crye, you've got 1, 2, 3. So what they've done is just moved one of them closer to the corner, rather than having them either side of the eye pro slot and then one at the corner of the pocket to reinforce that corner. They've just moved one of the eye pro slot ones further away towards the corner of the pocket to sort of do double duty. So that saves a bit of sewing time, a little bit of money in construction. But that's the only real significant difference I found stitching wise, apart from the loop for the cuff adjustment. If I bring this closer to the camera here, what they've done is the guy sewing this has just completely missed the loop right there, and it's not actually attached. The thread continues on, but that's not attached. And then looking at the other sleeve, I can only presume he was a bit, I don't know, probably in a rush, I'd imagine, because if we look, it is nowhere near straight. It is basically coming off the edges right here, almost falling off there, and then up in this corner again, pretty much falling off of the Velcro. I'm really hoping the camera will pick that up. On the Crye, of course, everything's spot on. You know, what more do I need to say about that? But the thing with this Chinese stuff is you just don't get the consistency. Overall, it's not bad. For hobby usage, as I say, it's not too bad. But then again, this is the more expensive end of the Chinese knockoff stuff. This is a $70, I think, around the time I bought it, shirt. And you can get stuff like True Spec or similar mid-level things for that, which will generally be better stitched. Or, if you're sensible, what you do is for about 20 bucks, maybe 30, similar equivalent, pounds, euros, whatever, any country you live in, you can get military surplus combat shirts in multicam, MTP, OCP, UCP, CCE, Flecton, whatever the hell your local military's pattern is. You can get combat shirts on your version of eBay for under half of this, and it will be definitely better made. Not necessarily miles better, because most countries contract out to China these days, or they use like prison labor as in the States, but it will be better made of slightly better materials generally, although MTP is polycotton instead of Nico, so that's worse in a way, but the torso fabric is much better for airsoft and whatever on an MTP combat shirt. You can pick those up for nothing. They're 10 a penny. Not literally, but not that far off. Overall, if you want a really specific pattern or a color that you just can't find, this brand, the Rasputin, I'll show you the label. It's not too bad. I still recommend military surplus clothing over this stuff for actual anything that's more than just literally dressing up and standing there and posing and looking cool for Instagram. If you've already got some like military surplus kit and you want to branch out into some other more different random foreign or commercial camos or whatever, just to expand your collection a bit, yeah, sure, go for it. You know, it's your money. But I just wanted to take this time while I've got this shirt here, because I'm going to sell it on and probably replace it with the new Urban Pencott when it comes out. So yeah, let me know what your experiences have been with the likes of the real cheap Chinese Crye clones. I know some people, they last for ages. Some people, they fall apart on them first time they try and play airsoft in them or whatever. I've seen it happen, and hence why I bring up the comment earlier about consistency in the manufacture, because that's generally what you're not getting. You're not getting consistency, quality checking, quality assurance with these cheap brands. So that's your key difference, really. As I say, let me know in the comments. Appreciate all the likes, all you subscribers, etc. Everyone coming by. Thanks everyone for watching. I'll see you next time.